Hey wedding world, welcome to the very first Wedding Business Digest. For those who don't know me, I'm Wendy El Khoury, the founder of Wedded Wonderland. Each Monday, I'll be breaking down trends and insights from the luxury, cultural and destination wedding market around the world. This is for businesses to gain insights, information, advice and expertise on how to grow and expand opportunities and business around the world to service our amazing couples. Let's get started. This week's theme for Wedding Business Digest with Wedded Wonderland is all about budget and allocation of spend. Where are our couples actually prioritizing spend for their luxury, cultural and destination weddings? Let's break this down. The priorities in 2025 lie in the experience economy. We know this and we have pulled data from the luxury travel sector and luxury retail sector in identifying spend and where consumer patterns are actually taking us. This is now being reflected in weddings and in private events. The number one priority for couples today is experience. How are you bringing experience to your offerings, to your products, to your proposition? Do you have the right contacts and the right information and advice to actually offer your services as an experience? For those who are in food and cuisine, what does that look like? For those who are in entertainment, for those who are in production and design, people no longer just want the elements. They want the elements talking to each other at weddings, and through experience, they're willing to pay for it. So what are you doing in your business today to bring the experience allocation to couples and their guests? Immersive entertainment, personalized experiences, and things that are memorable, and of course for the social media savvy couple, Instagrammable or TikTokable. This is why immersive experiences are taking it to a whole new level in 2025. When we think about luxury, we think about taste, sense, smell, feel, and of course, how we actually are positioned with our senses within a particular space. This is what luxury is. So in immersive experience, how can people touch, taste, feel, see, and enjoy what it means that you're bringing to the fold? It's a little challenging to actually reflect that in social media. It's challenging to be able to present that as a product through a PDF. What does your pitch look like? This brings me to my next point. Couples today, are they wanting to have 4 meetings with you to inquire and to determine whether you are the best service provider? Are they wanting to bring their family and friends in and request their opinion? Or are they actually just trying to figure it out through TikTok or through Instagram? The answer comes into how content creation is actually leading the way in decision making in the wedding space. Content creators, we know, burst onto the scenes a couple of years ago. In 2024, we watched weddings come to life through the lens of content creators. What does this mean for your business, and how can you tell your story through content creation to ensure that couples actually understand what you have to offer when it comes to immersive experience? What does your marketing strategy actually look like? How is the appetite of wedding inquiries, and where is the conversion actually taking place? The behaviors of Gen Z are entirely different. Millennials do like to swipe. Gen Z like to hear. They like to read. They like to visualize. They enjoy the experience of audio. So, as part of this Wedding Business Digest, we really will be breaking down through our Wedded Network what it means to actually create content around a marketing strategy that's going to drive your sales through social media and the touch points of where couples discover you and identify within 10 seconds whether you are the business they want to connect with. And do they want 4 meetings? And do they want the Zoom calls? And do they want the experience of actually speaking to you? Absolutely. But they're not going to give you a chance if they don't understand who you are and what you do. And they're certainly not going to give you a chance if they can't find what they're looking for in about 10 seconds. Let's talk about budget breakdown. This is a really good one, and I'm going to talk you through the shift of budget breakdown and allocation based on entertainment, gifting, and wellness activities in 2025. That's right, my friends. Guess what? People want their guests to come and they want them to experience, but they also want to make sure that the lifestyle of wedding ties into the lifestyle of events and the lifestyle of experience that they're investing in other facets of their lives. Why do we have recovery parties? Once upon a time, a recovery party was let's meet up after our hangover and have breakfast together. Now we are seeing the experience of massage, of spa, of swim, immersion of water, food. Recovery food is a big component, live stations, all tying into what it means to attend generally a destination wedding. For those who are having local weddings, we are seeing wellness come into the fold of experience. Gone are the days of couples inviting their guests to ceremony and reception and kind of not figuring out what they're going to do between this time. We are seeing couples get more and more considerate around the guest experience. They want to wow them, and perhaps it's with a cool towel on a hot summer's day. And that, in essence, is what couples and their guests are really focusing on when it comes to, wow, I didn't expect that. And so wellness will come into the fold in 2025. Let's discuss this further over on our Wedded Network channel. Ooh, this is a big talking point and the complete opposite of what I've just been saying, which is the rise of unplugged weddings. Yes, my friends, we are covering this topic and we need to talk about it because shared experiences means to be present. Leave the content to the content creators and of course the photographers and videographers who are present to do just that. There is an element of frustration from service providers in the wedding industry and couples who are saying, I don't want to have to be paranoid about every angle that I'm going to be photographed and videographed through content from my guests at my wedding and what's going to be shared. I want to be able to curate my wedding my way. I want to be the storyteller of my event. Please give me some control back in what is being shared. And we know when it comes to luxury weddings, and particularly for couples who are really hosting their wedding as an extension of their personal brand and perhaps business brand, they are wanting to curate the content to make sense for them. How are they taking charge of this? Let's talk about the fact that we have shared albums now. Put your phone away. Allow the couple to hire the professionals and we will give you plenty of content to share thereafter. And so the release of content and the release of information from weddings now is often sitting within the couple's hands, and this is where they're willing to put their money. And this is very important because from a service provider perspective, a little more of that control is probably going to come back into the fold as well. If you don't have content creation as part of your services as photographers and videographers, this is perhaps something you should look into from a partnering perspective or a skill building perspective. And content creation can mean all sorts of things. How many reels? How many TikToks? Do you want text overlay? Do you actually want us coming and filming prior? Do you want the setup involved? Do you want the guest experience involved? Are we walking around interviewing people? There's so much to talk about when it comes to content creation. And yes, of course, we work with the leading content creators around the world, and we will be hosting a session in particular on content creation for weddings, for the entire wedding industry through the Wedded Network. So you can head over there to find out more. One of my favorite topics. We do love to see content from weddings, but we do like it even more when it's curated. Okay, personalization is key. Personalization, we've been hearing this word for a while now, and the big question is, do couples have to pay more to get more when it comes to personalization? And what does that budget actually look like? I think now, the way that weddings are playing out is it's very challenging for a couple to be able to budget when they don't know the cost of things, generally speaking, in the wedding space, And then when a service provider says, well, that's a different service because that needs to be customized or personalized, and they're going, hold on a second, I thought I was just getting cutlery and crockery here. I didn't realize that, you know, by personalizing color or changing up a particular type of plateware, that this is now a different fee. And so the consultation between just hiring off the shelf versus curating for the couple versus delivery, taking it to another level of perhaps, and I'm using this as an example, personalizing the linen, and then that's customized. What are those levels and what are those layers? And each business within the wedding space now has opportunity for, you can get it off the shelf. So these are our packages, this is our pricing. But as soon as you start making changes to that and the prices start to shift, how is that communicated by businesses? There is frustration on the consumer side, because what tends to happen is one bride will say to another bride, I'm using this service provider and they quoted me this. Oh, hold on a second, they quoted me that. Why is it so different? We're actually having similar weddings. Oh, if it's a photographer and you're asking for 3 additional edits and 3 extra hours, guess what? That does determine a completely different price. Now, if there is personalization attached to that photography, perhaps a live station at the wedding, going back to experience and actually being able to edit on the spot, again, very different talking point. And so education is key. And this is why we've launched the Wedded Network. For us, it's about having these conversations, and you hearing from me each Monday is just a snippet of the types of information that will be provided through this network. It's not just me who is an expert in the wedding space. We have experts in AI, in software, in intelligence, in social media, in content marketing, in influencer management, celebrity, fashion, design, all of these elements, tech, lighting, the things that you need to know on how to actually run your business, and why, when you are sending out these and responding to inquiries and you're sending out these packages and these proposals, you may not be getting the answer that you're looking for. And why it's so hard today, I believe more than ever, to price for weddings, because proposals are being compared by Instagram images. How is a couple meant to decipher? And if proposals sound and look entirely different, how are they meant to budget? And how is a couple meant to understand what this all actually means? The role of a planner when it comes to destination weddings and luxury weddings, and actually being able to budget within a time frame that aligns and services the couple based on what they're actually after. You know, these are so many conversations that need to be had in the wedding space. We receive messages from couples every single day, particularly the bride, who is very overwhelmed and very confused at the moment, because deciphering through the noise that is social media, it is challenging. They definitely have more options, which means that there are more value propositions, which means there are more businesses in the wedding space, there is more competition, there is more noise, and therefore it is getting harder for the consumer to make a decision. So decision making is taking longer. Businesses are getting more anxious. The way that deposits are being paid through different currencies, being able to have meetings in different time zones, being able to speak a common language within the global wedding market, finding and connecting with local stakeholders. Again, one of the biggest pain points is that we work with planners from all around the world and venues who are consistently coming to us saying, I'm looking for a great photographer. My bride is after this in Lake Como. We need this in Dubai. How do we connect with this venue for an after party? Where can we host this event on a yacht? I need to be able to get from point A to point B. I need somebody to set up a live station for me with Indian cuisine. Do you know someone in Italy that can do that for us? All of these questions that come to us is why we've created the network. One is connecting with each other in a meaningful manner that is searchable, identifiable, and is driven with the intent of B2B referrals. This is what the network is about. Second to that, being able to actually give you feedback, create a feedback loop from the consumer to the industry in saying, these are the questions we're being asked. Are you actually set up for success? Does your website look the way that it's meant to? Does your social media add value and actually talk about your product offering? Are you clear? If you're not clear, how's the customer meant to be clear? If you're not determining where you're going in this market and you don't have the right tools to be able to do that, and I know you guys, I spoke in 13 countries last year at conferences to probably 10,000 plus businesses. I've heard you out. Many of you don't have marketing teams. You're engaging with agencies on social media. You're engaging with communities through Facebook groups where everyone can see everything that you're writing, and potentially brides and future couples can actually see what you're referring to and talking about. We need to be able to speak to each other in an environment that is conducive to the business of weddings and growing your businesses and expanding opportunities for you in the global context and in the local markets that you work in. The Wedded Network is all about that. And so me coming here and giving you the time to be able to discuss this and offering you the service of a platform that's going to enable this is like a dream come true. I've been running Wedded Wonderland for 11 years. You know, my WhatsApp on a daily basis, personally, I receive 10, 15, 20 inquiries. My Instagram's doing this, my website's doing that. I need a graphic designer. Do you know someone who can create content for us? I'm heading to London. I need to be able to connect with local stakeholders. The questions that you come to me with. Then the layer of the questions that we receive on Wedded Wonderland from businesses wanting to grow and scale their businesses, wanting to understand pricing, wanting to understand budgets, wanting to understand social media and digital marketing. All of these things are so important. Stop trying to figure it out on your own. And you're not the only one. Traveling across the Middle East, Asia, Europe, Australia, you all have very similar pain points. And the wonderful thing about the wedding industry is that we are ever so connected through social media. We all watch what everyone's doing. We all celebrate each other's work. But who is actually having the foundational conversations around business and around ensuring that your business remains viable, but is also not just surviving, that you are thriving? Because the opportunities in the wedding market are endless. Couples are investing more time, energy, and effort in multiple events, in multiple experiences. Their budgets are going into the fashion and the beauty and the wellness and the travel and all of these incredible components. But they're wanting value for money, and they're wanting to understand where their money's actually going. They're wanting to work with the experts, and they don't want to have to go through 25 Instagram accounts to figure out who is actually the expert here. Because guess what? You all look good, right? So, are we comparing apples with apples here? Who is actually talking to you every single day, asking questions weekly, connecting you with businesses around the world? It is education, it is a forum, it is a community, it is a directory, it's everything you've asked for in this network. And we've done it because of the number of questions that we receive on a daily basis from businesses, and guess what? From the consumer. And so we need to ensure that there is a place where you can come every single day in the tip of your hand, where you can literally, hold on a second, I had that question. I'm so glad somebody asked it. They're hosting a webinar on AI and how I should be presenting my product through AI as a designer with somebody who is leading in the wedding space. This is unbelievable. How can I actually use ChatGPT to better my business? Can I use it to type emails? Can I use it to write content for my site? Can I use it for my Instagram captions? All of these questions need to be answered. And technology is going to lead this industry forward. We know this. So without that, without an understanding of that, you are amazing at what you do. You're an amazing photographer. You're an amazing cake designer. You're an amazing couturier. You're a brilliant makeup artist. I know this, but who is actually assisting you in growing your business? And I'm not going to be the only one. I'm definitely going to be driving the conversation because we sit in a two-sided marketplace at Wedded Wonderland. But guess what? This is about you growing your business, scaling your business, entering a new chapter. The destination wedding market is doubling year on year. The spend within weddings is increasing because there are more products, more services, more opportunities. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about my final point, which is prioritization and budget allocation, which is the theme of today. effectively communicating the value of experiences and personalized offerings to potential clients. This is exactly what I've just been talking about. Couples are prioritizing this. If you don't know how to productize and monetize that within your business, you're going to miss out on a lot of business in 2025. We cannot have that happen. So we're going to be having lots of conversations each Monday here. Yes, and I'm going to try and be nice, but the conversation will continue through the Wedded Network. You can follow us on that channel for B2B advice, insights, and education. Of course, joining our Wedded Network community is what is going to enable this for you. So for those who are wanting to connect, grow, expand, and understand wherever they are in the wedding industry, if you've been around for 2 years or if you've been around for 20 years and you're thinking, there are things that I need to do this year and I need to know how to do it, and I need a community to ask questions, and I need the advice of the opinion leaders, not only within the wedding space, within the tech space, within the AI space, within the business space. This is going to be the place that you're going to find this information. I'll make sure of that. And this is going to be the year that you won't forget. The year where you are part of a community that is shifting and changing the landscape of wedding business around the world. And it starts here today with the Wedded Network. So thank you for tuning in for day 1 of Wedding Business Digest. Head over to Wedded Network so we can discuss all these opportunities and explore how you can connect with us through the Wedded Network. And yes, we do have a business quiz that you do need to complete. It is an assessment to determine whether the Wedded Network is actually suitable for you and if your business is positioned to join, because we want to make sure that you are ready to take this network and actually expand and communicate and grow the opportunities for your business. So I'm going to say that again one more time. Okay. Thank you for tuning in to the Wedding Business Digest day 1. Yes, every Monday I will be here sharing advice and particular information in relation to what is happening in the business of weddings. Next week's topic is destination weddings. It is going to be a big one. You can head over to the Wedded Network Instagram account to explore more on how we can assist you in growing your business, and of course all of the advice, education, and opinions around what is happening on weddings from around the world. Now, for those businesses who are considering and keen and eager to join the Wedded Network, there is a business assessment. We want to make sure that you are positioned for success and that we understand all of the amazing things that you're doing and perhaps some of those key points that you want to focus on, and that the Wedded Network is going to meet that criteria and be valuable for you. So if you want to complete the business assessment, you can click below and you can do that. We'd love for you to join us at the Wedded Network. We are launching very soon the official platform and app where you can connect with each other. Really, really exciting things happening. Destination Weddings, part 2 of the Wedding Business Digest. Looking forward to seeing you all very soon.